I think limiting beliefs is what holds everybody back at the end of the day, no matter what you're looking at. If you don't believe that you can accomplish something, you're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Because even if you attempt to do it, the minute you come across something that is an obstacle that is in your way, then you are going to stop and you're going to say, I knew I couldn't do this.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, I want to run 5K. Well, I could barely run 4K. There's no way I'm going to make it to 5. So that when you get to 4, you're like, oh, that's right. Oh, my God, I can't do it. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. How am I ever going to finish this run? But if you keep on going and you keep on pushing yourself, then eventually you'll get to there.
Yeah.
So if you change that, it's like when you get to 4, you should say, I'm almost there. Not like, wow, I'm completely finished. It's like just one extra little push.
Yeah.
You know, how can I get to that level? That's like, to me, that's what it's all about. It's about thinking positively and starting from a spot of positivity. You know, I can accomplish this. I will do this. You know, when I'm putting money into the bank, I am going to leave it in there.
Yeah.
Not, oh, what if I need it? You have a plan of action and you stick with it. Because if you start from a base of negativity, then you are not going to, I don't care what it is. You know, oh, that woman over there is too beautiful for me, or there's no way I can ever afford that car. Well, right away, you're already telling yourself, you just said no way.
Yeah.
You know, and we sort of said 5 minutes ago, oh, I don't want to start coding because it's too hard. You know, come on. And then you give a perfect example there. And I said, wait a second, my kids are doing it.
Exactly.
So if a 7, 8, 9-year-old, they have something called Code Ninjas. They
Exactly.
literally do that
Play
stuff.
a game. Yeah.
Yeah. Like my kids have already, I've never even used a 3D printer. They're bringing me home stuff that they 3D printed. I was like, make me a bull and a bear.
That's
I'll
amazing.
put that on my desk. But it's like, that's the kind of stuff. So now instantly they're thinking, I can do this. 3D printing, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like 3D printing. That's like intimidating.
And think about the confidence that instills in them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now they can attach this to their businesses, to whatever life lessons
Just
they're looking
life
for.
approach.
Yeah. And it's like, start feeling better. So what was your
well, I was going to mention that you mentioned running, and I have almost a perfect story for that. I heard actually on a podcast an example of this, and then once I heard it, I applied it to myself just to see what would happen. And it was actually very true. The podcast I was listening to, the guy was explaining the simple fact that every morning he would get up and run 5K.
Mm-hmm.
And he had this goal set out that every morning for whatever amount of time he was going to run 5K. And he would put it into his app and put it in his watch, and then he would go for his run. And he found over time that he was getting to a point around 4.5, 4.75. He was really struggling just to get to that 5K. One morning he got up to go for that run and noticed that his watch wasn't working, or his phone wasn't working, or whatever. So he ended up, he's like, whatever, I'll just do the same route I always do. And that should end up being about 5 kilometers. What he noticed was that morning when he went for that run, he got to that 4.5, 4.75, still felt great.
Right.
So the mind is a very, very powerful instrument in that it can work for you, but it can also work against you. I did the same thing. I went to the gym day after, 2 days later, whatever it was, jumped on a treadmill. I did not turn on the actual program on the treadmill to track how far I had gone.
Right.
I just started running.
And then when you felt,
I ended up doing almost 8 kilometers. And I looked up at the clock and I was like, oh my God, I've been here for almost an hour. And I just stopped because I had been there for so long. It was
the time thing.
It was no longer about how I was feeling. It was more about the time thing. So the mind is an incredible instrument from that standpoint.
Yeah. I mean, that's where we talk about this all the time. And I even made some notes here. You know, part of what you can do is, and that's great, like running 8 kilometers is huge. Like, congratulations on that. But it can start small. You know, it's kind of what you were saying. Start somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, even for myself, middle of the day, I like to work a little bit in the morning, whatever, get some stuff done, you know, put some trades on, do whatever, look at the markets, and then go for a walk.
It's so key.
You know, just get mental.